Hello, what is up everyone? I'm back with another farm tutorial, and this one's pretty cool. It is the sugarcane farm I've built in Easygoing Survival, as well as a slightly different version of the one I built in Strangecraft. So you see me build this farm many times, and finally I'm going to show you guys how to build it so you can have this awesome sugarcane farm in your very own world. Now you already just saw this farm in action, but it's very simple. Essentially we have a long clock back here that periodically triggers this thing to fly off by flicking this trapdoor, and of course I just manually did that. And once it does that, this slime block sweeper will go down the entire farm, breaking all the sugarcane, and then underneath the farm, if we come to the back, we'll actually see that we got some minecarts that go underneath via some rails, and that's activated every single time it goes past this observer. So the minecarts will go at the beginning, and then they'll pick up most of the sugarcane at the end. So this farm is very simple. It's also infinitely expandable, though you may need to add some more minecarts instead of the arrangement we have up here. You can also expand it horizontally if you want to just put a second flying machine. So overall, this farm has a lot of potential, but a farm this size produces around 2,500 sugarcane per hour, which honestly, that's probably more than any survival player would need. So this is a great size to build. However, if you do want to build it smaller, that's perfectly fine. I'll be building a smaller version for the tutorial. But other than that, guys, let's talk about what kind of materials you're going to need. In terms of materials, I'm not going to put a set amount just because for a farm like this, it's going to kind of be what size you want it to be. But I can tell you you're going to need around 20 slime blocks for the slime block sweeper, a few observers, a few hoppers, sticky pistons. You're going to need a lot of building blocks. You're going to need sand, rails, mainly just normal rails, also some powered rails periodically, and some levers to power that. You'll need some immovable objects like leaves right here, as well as some more solid blocks in the back, which you could also use leaves, but I use melons for the look here. And I'll obviously explain specifically what blocks you should use throughout this process. That's sort of the idea of what you need to build the farm. In the description for a farm exactly this size, I will put the material list just so you kind of have an idea of how much materials it's going to be. So if you do a farm half this size, then figure it's going to be half the materials. But let's hop into a tutorial. Before we get into the tutorial, I just wanted to shout out this person who left a nice comment on my last video. I really appreciate the comment, guys. If you want to be shouted out in the next video, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a nice comment down below. I really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you to every single one of you. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is place down 20 blocks. These should be solid blocks that you can put rails on top of. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then you want to place a chest right here. This will be your storage output, so you could have more hoppers, but this will symbolize your storage system, which obviously I'd suggest adding at least a few more chests, but I don't know. Personally, I like having big storage systems, but it's sort of up to you. Next thing you want to do is just place 20 hoppers in a row, just like so. And then what you want to do is just extend this entire thing and fill it all in as long as you want the farm to be. So your slime block sweeper will sit here and it'll go up and down the farm like this. So I'm going to send it out by like 25 blocks for the purpose of this tutorial, but obviously you can go much longer with that. Honestly, you probably go even longer than this one right here fairly easily. So I'll do that, guys, and I'll be back once this rectangle has been filled in. Alright guys, once you have your platform done, it'll look something like this, but maybe a bit longer and shorter depending on what you decide. And the next thing you want to do is place blocks. So first thing on the edge and extend this all the way down. You want to do this everywhere. So one here, and you want to leave these two blocks open for the record. These two blocks, rather. And this every third block, so leaving two wide gaps in between. I am sorry, it's becoming night right now. Just place some blocks, and your final one, you can also extend back all the way, rather than leaving that gap. And yeah, just extend these all the way down to the edge. And once you're done, it should be something like this, and slight error on my part, just extend this hopper chain one more, and you can place your chest here, just because you can't have this block on top of your chest, obviously. So yeah, it should look something like this. And now what we're going to do, we're going to place some additional hoppers. So place a hopper here, 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 and here. So essentially wherever you have these spaces, essentially. And now we're going to put our rails in place. So grab yourself powered rails and some normal rails. You must start with a powered rail here, and then you go 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place another powered rail, so go another 8 blocks of normal rails. Place another one. And essentially go until you get the end. Obviously, this will be less than 8 blocks, but this is just to ensure that the hopper minecart will in fact move. And next what you want to do is just complete the pattern and basically just kind of have a ring, if that makes sense. So you want to just do this in every single spot. And once you're done, it should look something like this from an aerial perspective. And next thing what you want to do is power all your rails, excluding the ones on the hoppers. We'll power these later when we want to send off the minecart, so we don't actually have to power those with levers. And essentially you just want to come underneath your farm and just place some levers like this and power them. And as you can see, yeah, powered rails are being powered. Obviously, you don't technically need to put those in, so yeah, just do every other block just like this. Alright, once you're done, all your rails should be powered except for these. Now we're just going to place some blocks in to contain the farm. So go ahead, place a row of blocks right here, come down to the other side of your farm and place an additional row of blocks right here. And now we're actually going to go ahead and put our sand in the place. You also could use dirt or grass or anything that sugarcane can grow on. I just prefer sand because I think it's, yeah, looks a little better. You just want to place it on top of all of the rails, and you want to bring that all the way down to here. So leave 2 blocks open on this side, and then obviously just extend it down, leaving this section open. And you should have something like this once you're finished. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to place some more blocks around the farm. So first place a row right back here, and then also kind of extend it out and leave yourself a pocket right here. And do this on the other side as well. And you should have something like this once you're finished. So next thing we're going to do is put our water in place. So to do that, first things first is put some stairs in each of these sections to start off. This will allow us to prevent water from spilling into the rail system. And go ahead, waterlog all those stairs. And now you can just go down and just, yeah, basically place yourself some water, just like so, in order to fill the water streams in. And of course, it starts raining as we fill in the water. So fill in your water, and we'll check back after that. Now we're going to go ahead and put in some glass walls on the side. You want to make these 3 tall, and you want to do it on the edges of the water. So just run this down all the way and do the same on this side as well. Make sure they're 3 tall. Next, we're going to put in the immovable objects that cover up the water in the center parts. And I prefer leaves just because they're easy to get and look good with sugarcane, but you could use anything such as a dropper, obsidian, furnaces, etc., etc. But in my opinion, leaves are probably the way to go for this part. And yeah, just go ahead and place leaves on top of all of the water. Now I'm going to put our sugarcane in. Just place your sugarcane on top of every single sand block. Obviously, if you don't have enough sugarcane, you could place, say you only have this much, just let the farm run, and over time, exponentially, you'll be able to fill the farm up, in case you don't just have like 15 stacks of sugarcane on hand. So that is definitely my tip. Obviously, this is also a good way to catch if you miss any spots of water, like I did right there. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our flying machine, so make sure you have some obsidian, observers, and sticky pistons for this as well. Essentially, just go ahead and place pistons in a pattern just like so, as you can see right here. And then just place slime blocks in this pattern, place a glass block on the end so it doesn't stick to the glass right there. And then do the same over on this side, except kind of like, one off, and place a glass block on the end. And go ahead and put a piece of obsidian right on the back of this piston, which will prevent it from flying. The next thing you want to do is go all the way to the other end and come out approximately 2 blocks on the opposite side, so where this piston will meet, and place it 2 blocks back and 1 up from the sugarcane, just like this. And just to give it a test, what we can do is, we forgot to put the observers in. So then place your observers just like so as well. Sorry about that. And that's your flying machine done. The test is out. Go ahead and you can activate it. And when it gets to the other side, what you should find is that the closest edge is right here, and then the other edge is 1 back like this. And that's actually perfect because now we can build up kind of the containment chamber over on this side. So the first thing you want to do is just place a row of melons, or your block of choice, down like this. I'm going to kind of do it to design. It really doesn't matter. Make sure any block the slime blocks are going to touch is immovable. Otherwise, yeah, the farm will not work. And then what you want to do is kind of like create a containment chamber for this one, as you can see what I'm doing right here. And this will essentially shoot any items that end up there out, like out of the farm, like this way, so they get picked up. We don't actually lose those items. And you want to do the same over on this side as well, except it's going to be 1 block in, given the fact that, yeah, it's 1 block closer. And I like to do it, and this isn't necessary, but kind of just like fill it in and make it look all nice. And yeah, that's definitely my preferred thing to do, is just kind of, you know, use also like my other blocks to kind of make it look a little bit better rather than have this weird shape. But that is obviously totally unnecessary. So do what you want in that regard. But I definitely prefer just to kind of fill in the farm and add some extra blocks just to make it look nice. At this point, you'll have some big blob of blocks that look something like this, and your slime block machine is sitting in here. And now we're actually going to do the return system. So for that, you're going to need an iron trapdoor, a repeater, an observer, and a piece of redstone dust. And what you want to do is just place an observer right here, just like so. Place a block on the edge of it like that, redstone dust, repeater set on 4 ticks, and then a trapdoor. And that will actually cause the thing to go back. And essentially this is a self-returning, so this will observe the flying machine come, and then 4 ticks later, it'll trigger this trapdoor, causing it to fly back to its initial starting position. Now we're going to do the similar thing that we did on this side, except it's going to be a little different, since we are going to want to, you know, make sure we let the items fall through onto the rails and hoppers down here. And in order to do that, what we want to do is first, you need to leave this block free, but place a glass block right here, just like that. And you can run that all the way down. And I like to use glass here. You can use any block, just because I like to be able to see to make sure the minecarts all look good. And then you want to use immovable objects for the rest of this. And essentially, once again, you're kind of just creating a wall. You also can go underneath and also place some immovable objects down here as well. That's a good idea, just to prevent any items from, yeah, like going through this little gap. So we definitely don't want to have any losses. And yeah, that's essentially it. You can kind of fill this in as well as, you know, go on top as well as you want to clean it up. Definitely place blocks on top of the slime block sweeper itself, but I also prefer to, you know, fill this thing in, make it look pretty with your immovable objects. You can also use leaves here, by the way. I just use melons to kind of differentiate between the 2 different parts of the farm, but leaves, obsidian would also work just fine here as well. Anyways, now that we've done that, we're going to do the timing system and then the minecart system, and then we're actually finished. Let's do the minecart system first. So the first thing I want to do is just place a minecart on every single thing, so only 1 per little pod, because it'll go up and then come down the opposite side. Next thing I'm going to do is place some redstone dust running down from here all the way to the other side, and place a lever right here, just like this. Next thing you want to do is come back 2 blocks away, just to be safe, and make sure, obviously, the redstone line continues. Next thing you want to do is place a block right here, repeater on 4 ticks of delay, and now we're going to put in an observer. So put an observer right here so it detects when this thing goes by. Place a block on it like so, and just run some redstone dust down, just like that. Honestly, a better option would probably be to run some redstone down like this and grab your repeater and just place it on 4 ticks right here. And then do something like this, and then you can actually go ahead and fill this in with some blocks as well. And that is actually the farm nearly complete. All that's left now is to put in the hopper timer. So place it right there. You might have some melons break if they're actually in the way. So place your trapdoor right here. You do need a repeater, which unfortunately I forgot. Place your repeater on 4 ticks right here. Now grab some blocks and you can kind of build up your hopper timer, etho hopper timer to be exact. You know, place a piston right here, redstone block right there. Place another piston right there, so it should look something like this. I'm sure you guys have built one of these before. Place 2 hoppers down like this, and it should be this pattern on both sides, just like that. Place a comparator here, redstone dust here, comparator here, redstone dust here, and put 5 stacks of items inside of there. And that will essentially trigger the farm on occasion. And to reduce lag, what you also can do is place 2 composters, if you want, totally optional, on top of those hoppers. Alright, one more step, and it's a very easy one. And that is to torch up the farm. So just place blocks here. You don't want mobs getting down into your rail system. Otherwise, yeah, that's no bueno. So place, basically, yeah, anywhere where mobs could spawn. Just place some torches like so. What you also can do, if you want, is place some lights above the farm itself. So I'd say just use glowstone and do something like, not here or here, but like one up from there. You can place glowstone periodically, but that's optional. You don't really have to worry about mobs getting into here too much. So just keep that in mind, that you might want to put some glowstone up like this to prevent mobs from spawning inside your farm. And I went way overboard on this. You obviously could leave a few blocks in between them, but I'm lazy and in creative mode, so it doesn't really matter for me. But definitely put some lights here. I just realized that, yeah, the zombies and stuff could definitely come and interfere with your hopper minecarts down here. So that's definitely no bueno. But if we take a look at the farm, it's actually working. And if you're like me and made a mistake and put a block on your chest, just replace that with a slab. And as you can see, we're getting some sugarcane in the farm. Alright guys, if you have any questions while building this, and we'll set the time of the day to do our outro, please join the Discord or drop a comment down below. I'd also really appreciate that if you guys drop the sub or like on the channel. It's really easy to do, and that's honestly the best way you guys can help me out, because it really helps the YouTube algorithm. So it's free. I'd really appreciate it if you guys did that, but I won't pressure you anymore. Join Discord if you have help, leave a comment if you need help, and the world download is in the description as well. And yeah guys, have an easygoing day. Bye-bye.